Good morning, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. Today is the 25th of April. It's Friday. I know you guys knew that. And the moon is in Aries. The moon moved into Aries early this morning. I just wanted to give you a view from this point in that's my neighbor's yard. That's that beautiful azalea I took a picture of, with all the daffodils along the front. And we'll just walk down here. So we have, with the moon in Aries, it makes various aspects to Neptune, conjoins Neptune at that first degree of Aries, trines Mars. Mars is in Leo, so there's a flow from our emotions to our actions, and those actions would be self-assertive with those two energies and the planets. We have the moon make a sextile to Pluto that deepens our resolve, and then later in the day a conjunction to Mercury. Mercury is now in Aries, moving forward. We still have a lot of planets in Pisces, and of course the majority of the planets in the sky were either in Pisces or Aries. And so as we move these last few days with the moon in those signs, there is this sense of the more collective feeling very personal, which I think is good, because this is part of the awakening. We also today have a semi-square between the Sun and Jupiter. The Sun and Jupiter are first of all, they're the two largest things in the solar system. And just psychologically, there are sort of our sense of ego and expansion of ego. And the semi-square, which is 45-degree aspect, the key words to this is overestimation, wastefulness, and exaggeration. You don't have to look very far to see any of that. But I do want to point out that we are now in the dark of the moon, with the moon in Aries. We have a new moon on Sunday in Taurus. But between now and that new moon in Taurus, we have the last opposition of Pluto and Mars. Pluto in Aquarius, Mars in Leo. And when I got up this morning and listened to one of my faves, David Feldman, it's pretty obvious that opposition, we're seeing the results of that opposition. These are just a couple of things he mentioned. That we are backing out of peace negotiations with Russia, Ukraine, and Europe. Europe refuses to give up Crimea, even though we say we want to give up, that Ukraine should give up Crimea, among other things, areas in the Donbass, I guess. Pete Hegseth has gotten into a third scandal. Yeah, keep a scorecard on these. I believe we're getting close to 100 days. What else? China is not biting on the tariffs. Turned around and tariffed American-made products in China. What else did he say? Oh, let me think. Well, anyway, it's a great show. You can watch it if you like. David Feldman. It's called The Mop-Up. But what I saw is the obvious sort of the obvious the obvious, like, there was all this forward motion at the beginning of the administration And there was part of us that said, well, something's going to say, things are going to stop it. It's not going to be able to do. It's unconstitutional. People aren't going to stand for it. We weren't quite sure how many people weren't going to stand for it. But we have a sense now of, oh, that ICE doesn't have any money. And then, of course, there's the whole constitutional crisis with Kilmar Garcia. And so there was this sense that they were going to be stopped with their shenanigans. Now, does that mean that they haven't messed things up? No, they messed things up bigly, as they say. But it doesn't. But I feel like this opposition, we're starting to see the point where enough is enough, and you cannot cross past this line. Now, we still have to deal with the ramifications of all of this. So it's not like it's miraculously over, but I do sense the sense that things are starting now to come to a halt in their forward motion. And interestingly enough, Pluto will be stationing retrograde in May and start backing up. And Pluto is the planet of power. It could be abusive power. It's also can be a very abusive energy. As much as we love to say power to the people with Pluto, there can also be abuse through technology with Pluto. So things to consider for the next 19 years, or not. Maybe we don't want to consider that. Maybe we want to reimagine a new world, but we are going to have to deal with the reality of the situation we find ourselves in. So what am I trying to say? Today is a pretty hot day, but you're going to see progress in ways that you had hoped for, perhaps, that you actually see happen. And that doesn't mean everything, but it does mean enough things, I think, so that we can get a sense that, I don't know, that we're not just having to duck and cover anymore. Right? Okay. Mystic Sisters, tomorrow night, simulcast on this channel and Ona's channel. We'll have our special guest, Jen Lin from Jen Lin Tarot, and Petty Boots fame. Should be fun. I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about. So, I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to have to take notes, I think, about all the stuff I become aware of today that are reflected in what is going on. The bleeding hearts are rising, guys. Check it out. That plant grew twice its size in 2 days. Amazing. I love this time of year. All right. Have yourself a great day. Oh, the sun's finally coming up. Sun is rising. Love you guys. Namaste.